4th down and 20. Back at the 27. Richardson drops back deep. Slings it towards the hash. Overthrown. Incomplete up at the 44-yard line. Looking for Xavier Henderson. And the Tigers take over their 3rd turnover on downs. And with 1:04 to go, the LSU sideline and the purple and gold here at the Swamp making some noise. LSU trying to make it 4 straight wins over the Florida Gators. And they are 1:04 away from a couple of knees of doing just that. So LSU will come out from the far sideline. Get into the victory formation as Daniels under center. Just wants to get the clock started. He'll take a snap. He'll take a knee. Clock begins to move. 1 minute and 2 seconds. As more Gator fans make their way to the exits here on this Saturday night at the Swamp. LSU has won 4 of the last 6 trips to Gainesville. And we are 45 seconds away from making it 5 out of 7. Again, Daniels needs one more snap. Takes the knee with 36 seconds. And that will do it. Sidelines will exit to shake hands. And the LSU Fighting Tigers come to the Swamp. They get their 4th straight win over the Florida Gators on a spectacular night offensively from Jayden Daniels. And the defense put in some tough spots, rise to the occasion, and the Tigers will celebrate a victory headed back to Baton Rouge. With the win, LSU now moves to 5-2. More importantly, 3-1 in SEC play. With the loss, the Gators fall to 4-3 and 1-3 in conference action. Horn sounds, and this one's in the books. Tigers win. Tigers win an impressive victory on the road. 45-35 is the final. Coming up, more on the Fighting Tiger post-game report as we celebrate in the Swamp. LSU gets the win, 45-35 over the Florida Gators on the LSU Sports Radio Network.
All right, family. That was a pretty fun game, wasn't it, fam? Pretty fun contest right there, man. Back and forth during the game. Can I tell you, man? What can I tell y'all? We was up by as much as 21 in the 4th quarter, but our teams love dramatics, man. We love dramatics. But anyway, good win. Good win by LSU, man. They fought through that thing, was able to secure it. We get the win, man. Good to see Jayden Daniels doing his thing, man. And I hope a lot of our Jayden Daniel naysayers now see that this guy has been a blessing to the LSU offense and to the team, period. Really getting better, too, and good to see him and Kayshon Boutte get on the same page, especially this game, man. So hopefully this is something we'll see for the rest of the season because we got a lot of tough games coming up on the schedule, man. So big one, 45-35. We're in the building, Big Q, for the post-game breaking down the LSU Florida. As LSU gets the win, they improve, man. They improve. So let's look at the team statistics, family. LSU 26 first downs there versus 19 by the Gators. 3rd downs, 8 of 12, 7 of 12 by Florida. LSU's offense mustered over 500 offensive yards today by LSU. 528 versus 395, 349 through the air, 179 on the ground. And probably is the Florida Gators were able to put up 200 yards, but LSU kind of kept that thing out of reach. 185 through the air for Florida. Penalties, 5 penalties for 30 yards for LSU. The Gators 5 for 35. 1 turnover, which was the fumble. And of course, the time of possession was almost a wash. 31 minutes and 47 seconds by LSU versus 28 minutes and 13 by the Gators. Individual statistics in the win by LSU. Jayden Daniels, 23 of 32 for 349. That's right, fam. 349 for Mr. Jayden Daniels. Through there, he had 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He averaged 11 yards a throw. So every time Jayden Daniels dropped back, pretty much he averaged a first down. More than a first down. And essentially, he had that extra point on there. So, I mean, listen, rushing attack for LSU, 179 yards, 106 by Josh Williams. He really is picking up the pace. big ups to the LSU offensive line as they're getting a lot better. You can see progression there. You've seen Campbell come back, so that really helps out. But 14 carries for 106 by him. He averaged 7.6 yards per rush. He had that 50-yard scamper that helped break open that average, but still a positive. Jayden Daniels, 14 carries for 44 yards. 3 touchdowns on the ground by Jayden Daniels. So he was responsible for 6 touchdowns. 3 through the air, 3 through the ground by Jayden Daniels. He was the man. Kayshon Boutte, fam. Getting his Boutte in gear on this thing because, listen, let me tell you something. 6 catches in the matchup for 115. He had a third down drop, which he should have had, but, it's better than one of the best outings we've seen this year from Kayshon Boutte. 6 catches, 115, 19 yards per catch. He had that 40-yard one right there. I thought he would get to the house, but he was cut off. Jare Jenkins, 2 catches, 67 yards. He had the touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 4 catches for 48 yards. Cole Taylor, 2 catches for 23. Brian Thomas Jr., 2 catches for 31. And a touchdown. They robbed him on that catch because that was actually a catch. John Emery Jr., 3 catches for 24 yards and a touchdown for him. And 2 for Kyron Lacy. So we did a lot of positive stuff. Of course, Jack Betch got hurt on the punt return, which he fumbled. He was in street clothes for the rest of the game. So we'll see what that looked like on the flip side. Shout out to Damian Ramos, who was 3 for 5 before the 47-yard kick that helped kick or pretty much extend the lead there to help solidify what LSU was doing. Looking at Florida, man, because they put up a good fight against LSU. Anthony Richardson, 15 to 25, 185 for a touchdown. He also was the top rusher, 9 carries for 109 and a score there. Montrell Johnson Jr., 13 carries for 57 yards, 2 scores. Trevor Etienne, 8 carries for 28 yards in the score. So a lot of this stuff was on the ground, over 200 yards rushing as a unit by the Gators. The top catcher was Justin Charter, 3 catches for 71 yards and the score. He was the only one who was able to get it to the house in the matchup. So big win for LSU. And then, of course, they close out the game with Harold Perkins stepping up and forcing a turnover for LSU to get. But listen, Harold Perkins is impressive. There were several stellar performers for LSU in this matchup. But listen, who do you get a game ball to? I say Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels, man, hard to not give him the game ball. 3 touchdowns through the air, 3 on the ground for this kid. He continues to do it, man. Help elevate LSU. So, I would give my game ball to Jayden Daniels. Who do you guys give y'all's to? Do you agree with me on that? Shout out to the fam. Appreciate y'all joining me for this one, man. LSU get back on the winning side of things, family, by getting the win over Florida. And, it's extra special when we go down there and kick them in their teeth and also make them turn that damn jukebox upside down, because not even the late Tom Petty can help the Florida Gators get on the right side of things. It sparked them for a little bit, but they should have been playing that. Maybe it'd help if they played this song or just had it on repeat the entire fourth quarter, But then again, it actually did work. It just helped LSU. It worked for LSU because obviously they channeled it a little more than the Gators did. So anyway, shout out to the fam, man. We got this, man. We got the win here and we improved, man. So LSU, what are they looking like, man, moving forward in this thing? Is really good game here. Really enjoyed it, man. All right, next matchup, fam. It's going to be coming down the pipe. Ole Miss, number 9th ranked Ole Miss. That's right, the running Rebels. 7-0, 3-0 in conference play. It'll be a afternoon game, 2:30 Central Time. LSU will be back at home in Death Valley, 5-2, 3-1 in conference play, man. And we got a real good test against Lane Kiffin's club, 9th ranked in the country, averaging almost 40 yards 40 points per contest, and they're only giving up 14 and a half. So they got it going, man. We got to welcome in old Lane Kiffin to Death Valley and welcome him into a ass beating. That's what we got to do. 32 points by LSU's with the average per game, while giving up 19 flat through the last 7 contests. 490.3 for Ole Miss versus 428.8. Might as well say 429 for LSU. 248.3. Ole Miss throws it through the air. And look at this statistics that they run at that thing. 242 yards per contest behind Mr. Judkins. So we got to shut him down in this matchup. LSU 256.3 through the air and 172.5 rushing at that thing. Now, if you look at the defensive statistics, 330.2 is what the Ole Miss defense gives up, 212.3 through the air, and they're allowing you to rush at them 118 yards on the ground. LSU 328.5, 193.7 as a secondary surrendering, and of course the front seven. You look at it, 135 flat a contest. We got to kind of neutralize that thing. We can't let this club get going and get that offense going. Jackson Dart will be the quarterback for them. 1358 is what he's throwing on the season versus 8 touchdowns, 5 picks. Like I said, Mr. Judkins is the top running back, 581 on the season with 8 rushing touchdowns. So he's a big part of what they do. Mingo, 22 catches for 507 and 3 touchdowns. And Lane Kiffin, you know what he likes to do with that offense. And of course, you look at Jayden Daniels' statistics right there, 12-15, 7 touchdowns, 1 pick for Jayden Daniels in the matchup. He's the top rusher there. I mean, he's doing everything, man. Top guy for LSU's Malik Neighbors, but the offense is jobbing. You're starting to see that. You're starting to see the camaraderie on offense there. You're starting to see Jayden Daniels, Kayshon Boutte, and the rest of the guys really become more unified. And I remember he did that players only meeting, which they made it a concerted effort to kind of get things going. LSU could not truly receive the type of success that they really would get unless they had all these cylinders firing at the same time. And Kayshon Boutte is a big part of what they do. So it was good to see him get involved in this matchup today. So this is the next matchup for the LSU Tigers, the Ole Miss Running Rebels, who are 9th ranked, 7-0. So we'll take these people on next Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. So with that being said, fam, we're going to get ready to bounce out this thing. Shout out to the fam. Young Blood, shout out to you, brother. Say Jayden Daniels is the MVP for LSU this season. There were a lot of people that was kind of, I was about to say, crapping down on Jayden Daniels. What do you have to say for this young fella now? I mean, if it wasn't for just everything that Jay never complains about a damn thing. And you look at what he was able to do, statistically speaking, look at his stats here. 1,200 plus yards, 7 touchdowns, only 1 pick, 75.5 on the QBR. That's 26th in the nation. If he wasn't doing what he's doing, man, we would really be struggling. And not only what he does through the air, but in many of these games, he's the top rusher. I mean, he's responsible for 6 touchdowns in the matchup against Florida. I mean, he busted Taysom Hill better than Taysom did this time around. He threw for 3 and ran for 3. So, I mean, shout out to Jayden Daniels, man, as he's kind of running this thing, man, for the Tigers, man, and doing a phenomenal job. We'll see if he'll get any accolades once the season is over, because he most certainly deserves them. So anyway, with that being said, man, defense is also stepping up. Shout out True Louisiana Animal. Shout out, fam. Now our defense got to have play-only meetings like the offense been doing. Yeah, I know, bro, but you got to look at Harold Perkins is stepping up. Ojolari's looking good. So, just think about it with some of our players like Mason Smith was missing. We got Fuchsia a little later. Ward stepping his game up, even though he had a couple of dumb plays in this matchup on the defense, but you can see them solidifying too. So some of our best players like Mason Smith is missing, and the LSU's defense is still pulling it together. So that's still a plus within its own right. So with that being said, we're going to jump out on that. Listen, I'm going to jump on over to Ring Kings Boxing. We got Devin Haney and George Kambosos part 2 coming up as he defends the title against Georgie Kambosos in Australia. Devin Haney, the Dream, will be over there on Ring Kings Boxing. So listen, thank y'all for joining us. And I'm going to holler at y'all on the flip side. Go Tigers.